In this video, I'm going to talk about a particular integration that will help you to build apps with the front end and the back end in an instance. For example, you can see the chatbot on the right. In short, in this video, I'm going to talk about AGUI, which is the Agent User Interaction Protocol. Now, this is a lightweight event-based protocol, and it standardizes how the AI agent connect to the front end application. So on the left, you have the agent. You have different agents, for example, LangGraph. You have AG2, Crew AI, Agno. In this video, I'm going to talk specifically about how to set up everything with Agno and AGUI. Okay, so it enables seamless integration between your agents and your user interfaces. Now, talking about depth in a little bit of depth, you can see that when you have an agent at the center, we have MCPs, which is Model Context Protocols, that gives agents the facility of different tools to interact with. So that can be considered as hands or feet to work with. And then we have A2A, which is agent-to-agent protocol that can connect different agents that can help pass information from one agent to another. Now, the missing link was the protocol between users and agent. So we have AGUI, which is what we are going to focus in this video. So there are different integrations that you can do. So we have this AGUI, and you can see that it basically works with the help of standard events, and there are 16 standard event types which has been modeled in AGUI. You can go ahead and check up the code of how they are doing, but that is on another video pipeline. But in this video, what I'm going to do is help you set up everything from start to finish, connecting AGUI and Agno. Now, I have created so many different videos on Agno. You can go to my channel and see for Agno. We have it's 5,000 times faster. You can build different agents very fast, local RAG, reasoning models, teams. There's so many things, and it's so easier to set up Agno. In this video, I'm going to show you to set up Agno. So where were we? AGUI. Okay, it's an agentic protocol stack, and you can see that different integrations you can do with LangGraph, Mastra, Crew AI, AG2, Agno. Now I'm more focused on Agno. So if you go to Agno, you will land here. So this is the page for Agno. We have a page for quick start, so you can click on quick start, and this is how you can get started in an instant. So before you begin, you need the following: an OpenAI API key. I'm going to go to a new window and do everything for you. So platforms.openai.com/API keys is the place where you can get your API keys. So I'm going to click on create new secret key, put in Agno UI, and click on create secret key. So this is the key that you're going to use. Next, we need a Node.js 18 plus. So which means it's nodejs.org. And you can, since I'm working on my Windows, I can go ahead and install this 22.16 version, which has long-term support, and I can go ahead and install on my Windows system using the Windows installer here. Next, I need a favorite node package manager. I already have npm installed. When I install this node, I will have npm, and then when I install Python, I have pip. So you need to have Python as well. How to do Python? So Python download, go to Python download here. Then you download Python, let's say 3.12. Which is one version prior to this, and that's it. You can get started. So let's get started with everything now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and click on start without template, and then we are going to discuss how to set up the front end and the back end and everything. So first of all, I will use a code editor known as Cursor. So you can go ahead and install cursor.com, download for Windows, and once I install Cursor will be Breeze. So I go to a particular folder in which I would like to work. So let me select a particular folder. Let me create a new folder, call it A21 Agno, and there I'm going to go CMD, and then I'm going to go code space dot enter. This will open up the code editor. In this case, it's Cursor. I'm going to go ahead and open up a new terminal here, and then I'm going to go to the instructions that we have here. So the first instruction is to clone this repo and put it in this folder, CopilotKit Agno Starter. So I'm gonna git clone this folder. So this is cloning into CopilotKit, and then I'm gonna go inside of CopilotKit here, cd change directory, and then you can see that we have this particular template. Let's see what we have. So first of all, we have this on the front end using Next.js, and you can see that we have this next configuration here. we have package JSON. Here are different scripts that has been written. We'll go into this later. But we have a public folder in which we have different SVGs for the photos. We have the source folder here, and we have a component, which is a tool has been designed here. And then we have this app in which we have page.tsx. So this is the page, this is the TSX file I want you to concentrate for now. Next, we have agent folder here, and inside this agent folder you can see that we have agent.py. So this is where we have, you can see we have Agno setup. So we have a finance tool here. This is Agno setup, and this is basically our backend. So we are using fast API to serve this. We can also use UVcorn to serve this, but you don't need to think of that right now. But we are using OpenAI API keys here. We do need OpenAI API keys, but in summary, we have the backend in the form of this agent folder. We have the front end in the form of all these things till the public folder. Okay, so once we have copied this folder, what you need to do is to do some installations. So you can go back and you can see that we can do npm install. So when we say npm install, this is going to install all the things which are mentioned, and you can see that in the package.json we have these dependencies. So it's going to install everything, every dependencies that we have here. All right, we have the installations done, and you can see that 329 packages are looking for funding, and you can see that this node modules is something where all the libraries and dependencies have been installed. So you don't need to touch this folder, but this is where it is installed. Next, we go and run this npm run install :agent. Okay, when we run this, what happens? It's actually written somewhere. So you can go ahead and see where it's written. So when we say npm run install agent, so this is, you can see install agent, this is a script written in package.json, and you can see that when we say npm run install :agent, we are going to go to the agent folder, which is this folder, and then you're going to do pip install -r requirements.txt. Okay, so we run this, and you can see that we have done all the installations here. So that's done. Next, we move to setting the OpenAI API key. We can set OpenAI API key on Windows. You can do set OpenAI API key like this, and you can take the API key which we have already created. Of course, you need a paid account for this, so you can set it like this. But what I'm going to do is show you how to use it, you know, in a more professional way. So I'm going to import OS, and I'm going to say from .env, load env, and then you're going to load the .env. Okay, and there I'm going to put in the OpenAI API key. So I can say API key is get os.getEnv and OpenAI API key. So now this is the variable which we need to define somewhere. So where do we need to define? We need to have a .env file, and here we're going to define OpenAI API key. Paste the key that we have already created. So this is another approach, which is pretty much the standard way of doing this. Inside the agent, we load the environment variable, we pass that environment variable, and you're going to use GPT-4o. Okay, so this is the backend. As you can see, this is an Agno agent. So this is the process of creating an agent, and you can see agent, the model that you're using is GPT-4o. The tools that you're going to use is Finance. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add show tool calls, basically show tool calls, so that we know when the tool is being called. Okay, and you can see that this is a description. You are an investment analyst and analyst that research stock prices. Instruction is format your response using markdown and use tables to display. This is how we created the app. We see this is the integration that they have done. So this is the integration of Agno and AGUI. They have given this new class known as AGUI app, and using this we can pass in the agent. We can put the name of the agent, the app ID, and description. Okay, so this is the integration. This is that particular part of the integration process that Agno and AGUI has done. Okay, so we save this, and next what you can do is we go back to the instructions here. Then it says that we can just start the development server. We can just say npm run dev, and this will start everything. Now what is npm run dev? When we say npm run dev, it means concurrently we are running different things. First is we are running npm run dev UI, which is this UI part. As you can see, this will start the UI. We are also running npm run dev agent, okay, and this is what is being run when we call npm run dev. Again, when we say npm run dev, this is going to run two things. First is npm run dev :UI, which is this, and then npm run dev :agent, which is this. So it's going to run UI and it's going to run the UGS, the agent. When it's going to run UI, then this is going to run. When it runs the agent, it's going to change the folder to cd agent, and then it's going to run python agent.py. Now, the important thing here is that the agent.py, it runs on this port, which is port 8000, okay, and the default, if you go to source, we go to app and page.tsx, and here it runs in 3000, okay. So let's go ahead and run this. So npm run dev, and you can see that it gets started pretty good. So what do we see here? We see that it runs, the front end runs in localhost 3001, the backend runs on localhost 8000, okay. So in order to check if it's running or not, what I can do is I can go to localhost 8000, and then I'm gonna say docs here. Okay, so we see that we have an error here. Now, if something like this happens with you, what you can do is that you can replace this localhost with a 127.0.0.1, and this should open. Okay, so you can see that we have post and we have get. So this means that localhost in my case is not working. We need to put 127.0.0.1. In order to make that small change, what I am going to do is first of all, I go to this component or to API, and inside API I have Copilot and route. So inside of route, what I can do is that I can replace this part. I can say 127.0.0.1. so this is the back end where your Agno is running. This is the back end link, and your front end is going to call this backend link. It's going to call the localhost 8000 port and /AGUI. So when it says /AGUI, this is the endpoint. They have defined another endpoint for the AGUI. So that's it. If we replace this, and now if you go to localhost 3001, you should have the app started here. Cool. So let's go and do something. So let's put this. What is the stock price of Apple? It should start up this tool calling, and you can see that the current stock price is 201. I can ask another question. Show me fundamentals of, let's say, Google, and let's see the answer. So it's calling this get stock fundamentals tool, and you can see that it's able to pick up exactly the details that we wanted. Now, if you're wondering what is this get current stock price, that is a tool basically inside the Y Finance tools. So if you go to Y Finance tools, which is inside the Agno, and in this Y Finance tools class, you can see that there are different functions which has been defined. So get stock current stock price, get company info, or you can say, for example, I will show an example. Give me company info about let's say Tesla. This is going to call that get current stock price. Okay, fetch the stock price, but you know, it's not deterministic, it's probabilistic, but you're gonna get the answer from this example here. Okay, now it seems that it's stuck. Now what you can do in this case is, there's a simple approach that you can do is, if at any point of time you see that something is stuck, and if you just close this and you can just try to reconnect everything, that should do it. If not, I'm going to show you another way. So let it open, and I can say give me company info about Tesla, and let's see if it's able to connect to my backend. If not, I'm going to give you a pretty neat trick that will help you in solving these kinds of issues. Looks like it's not able to connect, so I'm going to stop everything, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the package.json, and instead of cd agent and python agent.py, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to use uvcorn and I'm going to put in port, let's say 8010. So I'm going to use port 8010, and another place where I need to change is route. So here 8010. Now this should start up the back agent in a completely different port. Okay, so it goes to 8010 port. So you can go ahead and say docs, and you can see this started up again. Now you can go to localhost 3001 again and try this. Well, talking about what interesting things that we can do now is you can go to this agent, and inside of agent you can just put in DuckDuckGo tools here, and you can put in this import statement as well for DuckDuckGo tools. You need to import and install the DuckDuckGo tools as well. So to install, so what you can do is pip install DuckDuckGo search here, and you can take this, you can copy this, and you can go back and install it. So first thing that we need to do is this, and then you just need to add this tool here to the agents, and then you can add this import statement as well. Okay, now what you can do is that you can use, our agent can use another tool, which is DuckDuckGo search tool, and this will give us pretty interesting results because we can now access the web. So we can say npm run dev, which is the same command. This will open up my backend, my front end, and everything. It's running. I can go to localhost, and another thing is that you can go to this network as well, 192.168.56.1.3001. This will again take you here, and I can ask what is the current price of Apple. Let's see if it's working, and then you can move ahead to the real-time things. So I can say give fetch, let's say fetch me the latest news on airline or plane crash. Okay, plane crash in India. You might have heard about this news about so many people died because of the plane crash. So it's executing the DuckDuckGo news. It's unable to fetch directly due to a rate limiter. You may want to check online. Of course, there is some rate limiting issues in the DuckDuckGo, but let me try again. Let's see what is the issue here. The issue is not of the agent, but the tool that I've been trying to use it with DuckDuckGo. So this is the rate limit of the APIs, or the rate limit of this particular tool, DuckDuckGo. You can go ahead and check for other tools. You can go to agno.ai. Okay, I'm going to show you first. So agno.com. You can go to docs here, and you can check for all these tools. So you can see that there are different tools that you can put it in your agent. For example, we have the MCP, we have the entire toolkit here, web scraping, we have social, we have search, and then we have data. Of course, this is the backend thing that we are talking about. So anything that you want to do in the backend, the place where Agno is being used, so you can change everything here. And anytime you want to change the front end, you need to change in page.tsx, and for routing different links, you can go to route.ts and put the appropriate links here. You can use npm run dev to start up both the service and connect to your service using the localhost 3001 as shown here. Okay, so that's it. I think this is a pretty good template to get started. I'm going to bring in more videos to show you different interactions with AGUI, with Agno. There are so many things that you can do. For example, let me show you a few. You can go to AGUI, and you can see that there are different integrations that you can do. For example, if you go to Crew AI, you can see that we have this preview here, and you can see that you can set the pink yellow gradient, the background to gradients. So what it does is that we have an agent, we are chatting with the agent, but the agent is sending the command to the front end with the help of AGUI, and the front end things are changing in the front end itself. This is a very good interconnection. We have agentic generative UI, we have human in the loop, different functions, we have tool-based agentic UI, shared state, we have predictive state, but all these are hosted here. If you want to use this in your local system, this is the way that is being used in your local system. Once you are happy with everything, then you can go ahead and deploy this agent. We have the command for deploy is build. So npm run build. This will build your agent, and you can then take this and deploy it in your Vercel or some other deploying solutions. So that's it. I think this should get you started. Like the video, subscribe to my channel for more interesting content like this. This video showed the demonstration of how to connect AGUI with Agno. I'm going to bring in more videos connecting everything that we see here. They have so many things on the pipeline. For example, Pydantic AI, Vercel, OpenAI Agent, SDK, Google ADK. Again, in summary, we have MCP tools giving agent the capability of tools. We have A2A connecting different agents, and now we have AG or agent to UI interaction, which connects the users with the agents. With a simple workflow, now the triangle is complete and we can create interesting apps as fast as possible. Okay, I'll get you more videos in the future. I'll get you with more interesting videos. Stay subscribed and I will see you in this next one. Thank you.